Looks like wolf tracks. It's so beautiful in here, I can't stop walking. I gotta set up camp soon because about 2 hours of light left. But man, what a place. can tell it's getting colder because that sound right there was the ice expanding. And if it's happening now, it's going to get a lot colder tonight. So hopefully we're going to get a lot of the ice cracks. It's really cool because when you're on a really big lake, the cracks in the ice can go for kilometers. And it makes a really cool sound. It's one of the coolest things about winter camping, in my opinion. But you need a temper differential from day to night. You need it to go from like -5 Celsius to like -16, and that's when you really get those really big cracks. It's very cool. Oh man, I'm ready for this. What a luxury. This is the first time I've built a cot. It's a little bit controversial whether you build a cot in the winter or not, just because airflow underneath you is colder than the ground generally, or it can be. So it's some discussion whether it makes sense to be raised up and have airflow underneath you or not. But in this circumstance with a fire and a nice reflecting rock here, I think this is going to be really good. Remains to be seen in the middle of the night if the fire dies out and wind starts whipping underneath me. Yeah. Got a lot of wood to collect right now, so I gotta kind of get on it ASAP. Make sure I have enough wood for the night. I'm gonna do that now. More so than anything, it's just knowing where the wood is, especially on cold nights like this. It's gonna go down to -15 probably. Really taking your time on these big logs is super important, just because it can really work up a sweat. Okay, that worked. Wood looks good too. It's always a risk cutting these big logs. It's a lot of energy. But it's thinner up here and I couldn't get to the thinner parts, so now I can cut the thinner parts. I had a whole plan to make an elaborate meal, but I was hungry, so I cut some corners. It's funny because it really reminds me of a story of being in grade 9, and I forgot to hand in an essay. And my English teacher, who was an older man with a really authoritative looking mustache, said to me with a kind of grin that he only could grin beneath that mustache. It was so subtle, but there was something kind of profound about it. He had such poise. And he looked at me and he said, "Well, Max, you know the road to hell is paved with good intentions." And it's funny how that stuck with me. These big logs are going to keep me warm during the night. I just mark these up just a little bit, just so they'll catch a little bit easier. Stars are beautiful right now. Well, the fire's still going. I had a decent sleep last night. Woke up a few times. I knew I was pushing the sleep system a little bit. I have my -7 bag and a +5 bag. And I don't know, you do the math. It doesn't really add up to -15. But it's kind of nonsense anyways. I think these ratings are so subjective. It just depends how hot or cold you sleep. And ultimately it's an experience thing. This is a smaller lake, so it's mostly already frozen. When I got here yesterday, there were some open spots over there. Now you can see that those open spots have kind of frozen over. It's on nights such as last night where the freeze up really happens. Calm and really cold. It wasn't really my intention to be camping today. I was intending to go out the day before yesterday and yesterday, but I had a little bit of a mishap. I was hiking along a trail that had a lot of ponds and stream crossings. I came across a pond. I had to walk quite a fair ways back into the woods to try to get around it. It's a beautiful but kind of precarious time of year. On this trail leading in where there's all these rivers and swamps, can't cross them yet. So I'm gonna have to cut back off of the trail for quite some ways, it looks like, and just try to find a place narrow enough to cross without going through it. I got to a point where any farther in there was just hills and kind of cliffs, and with my sled it would just been really difficult. And I thought I saw a place where I could cross. I hate this. There's no really good place over there. That way's worse. Okay. That's my spot. And I crossed it once, testing it out. And I heard some cracks, but I thought that it was shallow just because generally you can tell where the shallow spots are, just where the grassy knolls are. So I step on the little grassy knolls. Brought my sled and my backpack over. I put my backpack on my back and used the sled to try to step on the sled to dissipate my weight. Oh, Jesus. That might be a trip ender. That's trip ender. That's trip ender right there. That's a trip ender. That's a trip ender right there. That was stupid. Oh, my boots are wet, my only boots. My trip is done. Right now I'm warm. My hands are a little cold. I got other gloves I'm gonna switch out, but I'm just gonna hustle back. I should be fine. I'm about 3 kilometers through. But I was not expecting to go through here, so. Oh, okay. All is good. I got an extra pair of clothes. I'm not too far from the car. But as I was saying before, this is the danger of this time of year. Man, I was not expecting to go through there, and I was not expecting it to be that deep. I'm absolutely drenched right up to my belly button. So I'm gonna toss this across so I don't have to haul it. And then I'm gonna skirt back there as far as I need to. But I'm just gonna almost run just to keep my body warmth. These are my only boots right now, and they're absolutely drenched. So it's gonna go down to -15 tonight. I should get going because it's -5 right now and I'm totally drenched. So I'm gonna hustle. Yeah, I found a place back there to cross. Probably where I should have just crossed in the first place. But I was kind of not wanting to cross these little mini cliffs here. Okay, back at the car, and I am no worse for wear, just many lessons learned. I'm super thankful for the experience. It's just a really good reminder of the dangers that are out here. Not that I didn't know it before. I wasn't planning to cross any lakes or ponds, but it's just, you gotta take these lessons and just sort of reflect on them. And I knew immediately that my best option was just getting back to the car, because I was only 3 kilometers away from it on a fairly decent trail up to that point. First lesson that can be applied to traveling through nature or life in general, I guess, is the fastest route is often the longest route. Meaning that I should have just walked farther into the forest to find a better place to cross. I thought that it was a decent spot, but knowing what time of year it was, the smart thing to do would have just put a little bit more effort in and then just walk around. Second lesson is that mistakes are more likely to happen close to home or close to your car in this case. All the sketchy situations that I've been in, and there's only been a few, like a handful, are situations in which I had my guard down because I was either close to home or close to my car. I wasn't deep in the woods. I probably wouldn't have made that mistake if I was by myself deep into the woods. On a more technical note, I shouldn't have had my hip straps buckled on my backpack, because if the water was deeper and I needed to swim, unbuckling your belt buckle in that situation could be very tricky. Anyways, super grateful for the experience. Lots to be reflected on, and I know will make my travels safer in the future.